Good morning, everybody. I'm using a light colored stone. I will explain how important this is in a moment. But first, I needed a circle because today, it's no secret, we're doing a gingerbread man. And I'm going to do the best I can to make him look a little 3D, to make his icing eyeballs look like matte black icing. I want to make him cute. Right now, he's looking a little bit strange, but I started with a circle. Now, I have to tell you that it's important that you're on a lighter colored background because rocks do darken when you seal them. So you need a light enough background where you're going to be able to see some shading so that we can make this little gingerbread man 3D. We want him to pop off the rock. So we're going to do the best we can. So I'm starting off with some maple brown. You can choose whatever shades of brown you want to do for a gingerbread looking like cookie. If you don't feel like doing a gingerbread cookie, you could definitely do like a sugar cookie rendition. You could do like an ugly sweater, and you can try and make it 3D like I'm going to do today. But there's one thing I have to try and be conscious of. I've been told in my comments that I say too much, which I just did. And so I'm going to try really hard to not say it as often. But this is kind of just who I am. So if I say it too often, I apologize. But I'll try to be conscious of it. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing different shades in here, and I'm kind of going to lighten the inside using a bit of camel. So you'll see I'm mixing camel with maple brown, and I'm going to sponge in, try and keep the outer edges the darker shade of brown. That's all I'm trying to get across. Just try and keep the outer edges that maple brown. I'm lightening the outer or the inside so that it kind of makes the cookie look a little bit puffy or raised a little bit. It's just what I'm going to try and do. It's not going to be perfect, but we'll do the best we can. I am going to continue lightening that until he is the shade that I want him to be. And you can do the same. We're going to clean it up and we're going to make it look a lot better a little bit later. I am extremely tired. I have to work nights tonight and tomorrow night. So it's like my sleep is a little bit off. I stayed up really late last night and I'm trying really hard to fill my day enough that I'll be tired later and I can sleep and then I can go into work at 11. So yeah, if I sound exhausted, that is because I am. But glad to be back here with you, of course. So he does kind of look a little bit puffy. As we go along, he's going to look a little bit like a stitched leather gingerbread man. And I'm kind of okay with that because at least I'm painting some kind of illusion. But he definitely didn't look like cookie. And I think it's because of the finish of the maple paint, maybe. That it was just kind of shiny, like this kind of like little gloss to it that made it look leathery. I don't know. You tell me. Wait till you see it soon once we put some icing on it. So right now I am outlining the entire cookie with black paint. Simple cookie design. Yes, one arm might be a little bit skinnier than the other. We're not going to notice it. It's not going to be a big deal. We're just doing the best we can. And I'm glad to be back again because one video in the last couple of weeks is like upsetting to me. And I've noticed that like my subscriber count is gone down and I'm not sure what's going on, but make sure you're still subscribed to my channel and also share my videos. Tell everyone to subscribe. I have to get my video out to as many people as possible. So, because this free painting stuff is pretty cool. Free learning how to do stuff, even like making gifts and decorations for your home. So yeah, share, hit the hype button. That helps my algorithm as well. And if you like this, or if anything in here you think you might be able to try, or any tips and tricks you might have learned that you can probably utilize in your daily painting life, let me know in the comments, and just hit the like button because of that. So I've done some little bit of stitching of white icing all the way around the perimeter of the cookie. And we're going to go a little thicker on the wrists and on the lower parts of his ankles because it's supposed to look like thicker icing there. We are going to pearlize. We're going to pearl up that icing using a little bit of chrome gel and some chrome powder that looks like pearl. But we're going to wait till that white is dry before we do that. For now, he needs some black icing eyeballs. And they don't look like icing right now because they're way too glossy. And then once they're dry, they're going to be way too dry looking. So we're going to make them look like black icing. We're going to attempt it. Same with his bow tie. He's got a bow tie and some buttons. And those got to look like icing too. So this is going to be the fun part. We already did the simple stuff. The fun part is trying to make it look more 3D. So we have to make it pop off the rock, and we have to make the icing and the buttons and the eyes and the eyebrows that he doesn't have yet, but he will. We have to make everything pop off the rock like it's 3D. So we're going to do the fun part right now. So I'm adding a little bit of bright red, whatever red you choose, but I'm using bright red. It's an apple red from Folkart. I've tried to lighten it in certain areas, and I've outlined it with black, which for some reason I've accidentally cut that part out of the video. But we're going to work on that bow tie very soon, and we'll go step by step with it. I've now given him eyebrows. He's got a cute little personality, doesn't he? Now on top of the black, instead of having to try and outline our little gumdrop buttons or our little icing buttons, instead of having to outline them, we started with a black dot and then we put the red on top. So now we don't have to outline those. It's just a little bit easier. Might be a little trick that you did not know about. We're going to let those red dots dry. Our eyes are too dry, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about the eyes yet. First, we are going to do some shading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water down some black paint, really water it down so that it's very transparent. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to do layers of this because once it starts to dry, you can really see through it. And I want to make sure that I can still see the shading when I seal this rock with resin. So the rock is going to go a little darker. I want to still be able to see the shading, but I don't want it to be just pitch black paint. I want there to be like a shade to it. So hopefully you can kind of see the idea that I'm getting at. And once it dries, it does dry lighter. So this is dry. Now I'm going in with another coat. And I'm going to keep going over top until it's the shade that I am comfortable with. And then I wait for it to dry. You're going to have to do the same. And just make sure, first of all, like at the very beginning, like I said, a lighter stone. It has to be a stone that's not going to get very dark when you seal it. So in order to check your stone, run it under some water or give it a spray with some water. And you'll be able to see how dark it's going to go. That way you know how dark your shading needs to be. But it probably won't ever need to be pitch black. So don't worry about that. I'm also going to go overboard in some areas, and I'm going to need some nail polish remover and a Q-tip so that I can just go in and kind of remove some of the shading because it didn't look right in certain areas. But once again, just do the best you can. And if you don't have nail polish remover and Q-tips, did I say toothpicks? If you don't have Q-tips or nail polish remover, it's okay. You can go in also with rubbing alcohol and like a little bit of like Kleenex or paper towel and go in there and try and wipe it off that way as well. But I'm using nail polish remover and Q-tips, and that actually is something that I have at my desk all the time when I'm painting because it's very handy. So I have fixed some of the shading. I am now going to do some shading underneath the bow and underneath the buttons and under the eyebrows. And I'm going to go around the icing as well, but it's going to actually make a real mess of the icing. So after that's done, I go back over the icing with white. So you're going to see me shade under the eyebrows, but I'm going to mess up his eyebrows. And then we're going to go back over the eyebrows with white. I just wanted there to be a little bit of shading so that it looks like the eyebrows are kind of raised. And I want the bow to look like it's kind of raised, like it's made out of icing. Oops, I've said so many times, so I'm really sorry. I'm really trying not to do that, but it's natural, unfortunately. So I am sponging under the icing, and then I will fix it because it looks terrible. I've ruined our beautiful icing, but I will fix it. His eyeballs still are very flat black, but I do want there to be a little bit of a soft shine to them like it's icing. And so we're going to have to go in, just like I did with the watered down black for the shading, I'm going to do a little bit of watered down white. And I'm going to kind of smudge it on, very, very small amount. Smudge a little bit of white onto the eyeballs, and you'll see that kind of bring them to 3D life very soon. And I thought it was pretty cool. Because when I watched this happen in a sped up version while I'm editing, it looks pretty cool. So I wanted to add a little bit more shading to underneath his feet. Made sure everything looks the way I want it to. And here's where we smudge a little bit on those eyeballs, just off to the, oh, they look like icing. Just off a little bit to the top corner. Just smudge it on, a little bit of white. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this bow. I'm going to keep going back and forth with red and white until it looks the way I want it to. And it looks kind of like icing with a little bit of a sheen to it. I'm going to do a little bit of white on each gumdrop as well. So you'll see that happen. And you just do the best you can. And in the end, somebody might, hey, that looks kind of 3D. Or that looks like a real cookie. Or that looks like a real leather gingerbread man. You never know. It's fun though. So I've put a little too much white on those gumdrops. So I went back in with red and kind of dimmed them down a little bit. Yeah, they kind of do look like they're popping off the rock. So now, like I said, I was going to put some a pearl shade on top of the icing. I'm only doing the bigger icing, not the stitching. And it's this pearl chrome powder. And I cook it after putting the UV gel on the icing. I put it under a UV light for about a minute 40, minute 60. Cook it. I call it cooking. It's really not. But I cook it under the light, and then I use the pearl powder on top of the icing where I put all the UV gel. And now there's a nice pearlescent shine to it, which just kind of, Just adds to the glamour of our gingerbread man or woman, whatever you decide to do. You can change this up as much as you want, but I'm going to go resin him because he's ready. And ta-da! Isn't he cute? The rock darkened, but I can still see the shading. It's so shiny that it's hard for me to get a good glimpse of it for you. So I'll hold it still, but I'm going back to the non-resined version for the final picture. He just looks so much more 3D, although bad lighting, but he does look rather gingerbready. I don't know. Let me know what you think. We've done gingerbreads before. I just thought I would try and do some 3D effect on this one and have a little bit of fun with it. I love you guys. I will see you very, very soon. What do you want me to do next? I want you to hit the like button, hit the hype button if it's available, and I'd like you to share if you can. And I will see you very, very soon. But tell me what you want in the comments. That way I can keep painting and keep working and keep living life the way we should be. I hope you are all going to keep painting with me. I'll see you soon. Bye.